Okay. So we will not be able to transform, no, instead of irregular verbs to be transformed to its correct form of the verb. We are doing, or we are actually using, no, the irregular verb to its regular form of the verb, which is very wrong. No, we may consider it regular instead of irregular, which has another rule to be taken instead of the ones with regular verbs. So make sure to take note that irregular and regular verbs have different, okay, forms. They have also different rules on how they're gonna be used in the sentence. Okay. Verb tense is the ability of a verb to indicate the time at which an action takes place. Verb forms are the tools you will use to create tenses. Okay. Use present tense. Okay, present tense. In universally true statements, not limited to a particular time. Okay. The sun is 93 million miles from Earth. Okay. The sun is 93 million miles from Earth. That's universally true. Okay. That's a true statement, which is a fact, no, that really sun is 93 million miles, okay, from Earth. In definitions, if it is used in definitions, okay, you have to define something. You're gonna use also is if no, the subject is singular. Hardware is the physical system of a computer. You cannot say hardware was the physical. No, it's not. It will always be in a present tense, no matter where you found that hardware, no matter um when did you actually say that particular statement. But since it's generally true or universally true, and you are actually giving a definition, it is basically always in the present tense or present form of the verb. Okay. In statements about the content of literature and other published works, okay, that's actually in a present form of the verb as well. Hamlet appears extremely indecisive. Okay. Yes, perhaps there will be a lot of versions, usually in literature or content of literature, of different authors, of different writers, of different, when we say people who'd like to give new versions of what the author just said about a particular character, but nonetheless of them, uh, anything that has a statement about the content of literature or other published works, it will always be in the present form of the verb. So this one, Hamlet appears extremely indecisive. May it be true or not, no, since we may not really get the universal truth about literature because there are versions of it, no, that only the author can state. But since we're using this particular um, definition, or when we say sentence as a statement about the content of literature and other published work, then basically that's in the present form of the verb. Okay. All right, let's proceed. Use present tense for events that are currently happening. Okay. For events that are currently happening. I am really mad at Anthony. Andrea attends mass every week. Okay, you always use present tense for events that are currently happening. So if it's happening right at this moment, you have to use am as a present form of the verb, and also for regular nouns, attends, that should be in a present form of the verb. It really depends on the subject, of course. Andrea here is a singular subject. That's why we have to use the singular form of the verb, attends. Okay. So let's say it's here, the distant past, the near past. Now the present, am, attends, the near future, and the distant future. There's always a group, or there is always how we will divide, no? Um, how we shall be able to divide or to regroup, no? When that particular action happened, no? So we can really state the correct verb, or what verb should we use or intentionally use in order for us to give a comprehensible um, sentence in a conversation. Kasi really, tenses of the verb can give us a clear understanding when did that actual happening happen, okay, in the past. And if the speaker would like to emphasize that particular statement in the future, when would that be in the future? We can actually also pin it out or pinpoint when will that happen in the future as well, using this tenses of the verb. So this is how we imagine, no, using the different tenses of the verb. And perhaps since this present tense is something like it's currently happening right now, like I am your lecturer today. So basically the lecture happened at this very moment. So we're gonna use present tense of the verb. Okay. Use present infinitive. All right. So here it is. We're actually talking about infinitive already. Infinitive, okay, these are form of the verbs that point to the future. Okay? For example, I hope to complete my degree by the time we get married. All right? So, present infinitive is actually in the near future. No, can you see the illustration below? I hope to complete my degree by the time we get married. It is stated in the near future because basically we can understand no that sooner um as when she made or she had given that sentence or conversation, he or she's really planning no of getting married. Okay, so it is in the line of the near future. I hope to complete, okay, that's to complete my degree by the time we get married. Okay, for this one, she planned. Okay, that's also the near past. She planned to earn an MBA by the end of the year. Okay, so she actually, perhaps, no, the conversation happened, no, near past. That's why it was reiterated. Okay, sinabi ulit, no? So in the form or the past form of the verb na, no, sabi niya, parang ganon ang pagkasabi. Sabi niya, nagpaplano siya to earn an MBA by the end of the year. All right. So basically, that's the near past when the action or the conversation was reiterated or sinabi ng nakarinig, okay, ng sinabi regarding the planning of earning an MBA. So that's the near past as well. Okay. We also use present perfect tense, okay, for an action that began in the past but continues into the present or the future. I have lived in Pensacola all my life. Okay. She has lived in Pensacola all her life. Okay. Now here, it's still the near past. Okay, it's still the near past. It says an action that began in the past. Okay, it has begun in the past, huh? But continues in the present or the future. So, noon hanggang ngayon or kahit sa buong buhay niya, no? So still the action began in the past and it still continues this time and will really continue in the future. That will be present perfect tense. Okay? I have lived in Pensacola all my life. Okay. So when if we'll try to or translate it in Filipino, dito na ako tumira or dito na ako nakatira, no, sa buong buhay ko, parang gano'n. So an action, no, which is lived and then in the past but still continues into the present or the future. Okay. Use a present participle, okay, present participle for an action that occurs at the same time as the verb, okay. Speeding down the interstate, I saw a police car. All right, still, it is present participle because the um, action that occurs at the same time as the verb. Okay. The verb here is speeding down the interstate. Okay. So, may dalawang action, no, na pwede nating ipagsabay na i-describe, no, at the same time of how we wanted to really emphasize, no, what was the two actions. So it's like this: speeding down the interstate nung bumababa, okay? Nang bumababa ako, no, sa interstate, nakita ko, no, hindi naman po pwedeng makita ko, no, using the future tense, I will see, okay, no, it's not. It's really I saw, nakita ko ang police car. So that's an action that occurs at the same time as the verb. So that's what we call a present participle. Past tense for an earlier action. Okay? Katulad ng kanina, planned. Okay. Marvin bought the car. All right? Bought here is an irregular verb. Okay? Make sure na very well versed po tayo when it comes to regular and irregular verbs. I hope you look into it kasi baka may very wrong talaga sa pag-understand ng bought. Okay. Bought is actually past tense of buy. Okay. We cannot say Marvin buyed, no, the car. There's no past tense of buy having ed. No, it's very wrong. So Marvin bought the car. That means nabili ni Marvin yung car. Okay, that's the near past for an earlier action. Okay. For an earlier action that is mentioned after a later action. Okay, that is past perfect tense din. No? Marvin bought the car that he had seen advertised online. So anong pinakaunang action dito? Okay, anyone? What do you think is the first action that has happened?
In advertising. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's seen advertised online. Okay, an earlier action that is mentioned, or it's actually a later action. The later action here was what? The later action here was he had seen advertised online. That's perfect tense. Okay, past perfect tense is when an earlier action that is mentioned after a later action. Dito na pumapasok si bought. Okay? So parang may isip natin, nabili ni Marvin yung car na nakita din niya online. So, basically, it would be the first action was he had seen, because if he hadn't seen that, kung hindi niya nakita online, probably hindi din niya mabibili, no? Because hindi naman niya, okay, basically we can understand that there's no knowledge, Marvin has no knowledge at all of that car. Wala siyang knowledge about the car. But then, when he had seen it online, okay, he had seen it advertised online, then that's when Marvin bought the car. All right. So it was an earlier action that is mentioned after a later action. So that means past perfect tense. Okay. Next, we have future tense. Okay. Parang nabobore na kayo sa ating lecture for tonight because it's about the tenses of the verb. No, I know that's very boring, no, very tedious type of lecture, and most of us know will not be really interested in listening, because ano na ba to si ma'am, no, nagbibigay na naman ng very complicated and very complex topic. And it's really part of grammar. So we really have to make sure that you are already reminded of these. So every time you will, of course, encounter no grammar, you can have siguro knowledge or background knowledge about it. And there's no or it's not really necessary for everyone to memorize all the rules because no, it will really take you forever. However, at this point of time, at least the basics, no, ang alam nyo when it comes to grammar. So, for the use of future tense, this is for an action that will be completed. Okay? Still, yung action, no, na kailangan pang ikumpleto. No? Still not yet complete at this time, but will be completed in the future. Example, I will graduate from college, and you will always, okay, be given a clue that this is for future tense when you will see will. Okay, I will graduate from college. Still, that is the near future. Wala pa tayo dun sa future perfect tense. Okay, still the future tense is I will graduate from college. So, basically, nang sinasabi niya ito, hindi pa siya nakaka-graduate from college. All right. So still, that's in the near future. For an action that will have been, okay, that will have been completed at a specific future in relation to another specific time. All right. So example, by 2020, oh, so let's say by 2028 or by 2024 Napolcom exam, I will have passed from Napolcom. Parang ganon, no? By 2020, I will have graduated from college. Okay. Once you can see that it has will have, okay, that means you have to still use a verb that will have ed at the end. I will have graduated from college because it is not yet, yes, completed, but expected that by 2020, you will have a graduation that will have been completed at specific future time. That means that specific time, nakagraduate ka na. Alright? So that means I will have graduated. So since kiniklaim mo na this time that you'll have to graduate by 2020, you can already use an ed of that particular verb. I will have graduated from college. It is for an action that will have been completed at specific future time in relation to another specific time. So that's all the tenses of the verb. There are complicated ones, but I know that will not be included anymore because these tenses are the common errors. Yeah, common errors when it comes to grammar. And these tenses are always used in giving emphasis as to when the action really happened. So when you actually would like to master the basic information about tenses of the verb, make sure that you again review verb forms and tenses. Anyway, I'll be giving out these materials to you so you can again review and make sure to restudy all of this before having the Napolcom exam. So much for that. Let's proceed to analogy. It's already what time? Oh, it's 7:56. So at least 8 to 9 p.m. tonight, we can discuss a lot about analogy, basically because most of the Napolcom questions last time were a lot of it daw were analogy and I don't know if there are a lot of grammar, but paragraph organization is also there, and reading comprehension really. Parang yun po yung sabi sa amin ni Sir Jory na talagang kailangan yung i-master when it comes to verbal reasoning. And for reading comprehension and also paragraph organization, make sure to again reconsider studying the major topics of your course, kasi it will always have the topics about crime and I guess being a police officer, I think. Okay, let me just change my topic here in my screen. Give me one moment. Okay, before I proceed to our next topic, I'd like to share this preposition topics for you. So whenever you encounter identifying errors or even completing sentences, prepositions here will perhaps be one of the given questions, because many of you know, especially those who are not English majors, will really encounter prepositions, as this is also one of, okay, one of the hardest, I think, because no, we will always be confused know how these prepositions will be working in a sentence, and um it is better for us to prepare for it, so no, you may have an additional knowledge about preposition and how you're gonna use this in a sentence. So prepositions. We have prepositions of time, show the relationship of time between the nouns to the other parts of a sentence. Okay, common preposition of time: on, at, in, from, to, for, since, ago, before, till, until, by, etc. are the most common. Okay. At, okay, always indicates an exact and specific time. So when we say we'd like to go on a date at an exact specific time, we say, please, okay, we can have our date at exactly 8. So before 8 a.m., perhaps you should be in the event already in that particular place. So that's indicating an exact and specific time. Examples: I started working at 10 a.m. The movie starts at 6 p.m. The shop closes at 3 a.m. But of course, exceptions are that we say at the weekend, at Christmas, at Easter, at the moment. Okay, so we expect that these are the exceptions when we are using, of course, at. of course, since these are exceptions, it is still correct to say at the weekend, at Christmas, at Easter, at the moment. Right? So that's always to indicate an exact and specific time. If you are the speaker of you're the speaker and you'd like to emphasize that there will be a party at the weekend, so perhaps you are referring at the weekend, no, nearest as to when you have said that particular sentence. Okay? So at the weekend, at Christmas, at Easter, at the moment. On, okay. On generally indicates a fixed date or day. Okay? We do not say, everyone, we do not say when we'd like to emphasize date or day, we should not really use at. At is always indicating an exact specific time. But if we'd like to emphasize a fixed date or a day, that's on. Okay. Examples, I'll see her on Friday. No, we cannot say I'll see her at Friday. No. Okay, we say I'll see her on Friday. He broke a record on Monday morning. Okay. And I have a meeting on 25th of October. Okay. So that's at and on. In generally indicates an indefinite and unspecific time of months, seasons, years, centuries, etc. Okay. I will get a holiday in December. Okay. Murphy was born in 2001. Okay. If we'd like to have an unspecific time of months, no, basically we're not sure of specific dates. We'd like just to emphasize, no, a happening or an event sometime in December. Okay, that's actually you can use that. No, I will get a holiday in December. Just give me one moment, huh? Okay, I'm sorry for a little interruption. My mom called. Okay. So we're now in. Okay. Number 3, I love playing cricket in summer. So basically, he loves playing cricket sometime in summer. Specifically, if we'd like to make mention of a specific time in summer, no, we may be able to do so, but we'd like to use the correct preposition to that. But since you're using in, meaning you're not specific of its time, its season, its year, or its month. Okay, there are also exceptions to this in using in. Some very common exceptions are in the morning, in the evening, in the afternoon, in 5 minutes, in 6 days, in 2 years. Okay, in the morning, basically any time in the morning. This is what it's trying to say. In the evening, anytime in the evening, as long as we may understood that it's still evening. All right. In the afternoon, of course, after 12 noon, perhaps that could be our unspecific time, okay, referring to. Next, we have from, to, until, since, and for. Okay. From and then to, okay, indicates a fixed time span with the beginning at the end. Okay, example. I worked there from 2010 to 2017. So when you'd like not to emphasize or indicate fixed time span from the beginning until the end, you have to use from and to. I usually work from Saturday to Thursday. I will stay there from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And then we'll have until indicates a specific or unspecific time event up to a point. They will not return until Friday. Wait for me until I return. I do not give up until I succeed. I will be there until Monday. So that's how you're gonna use until and till. Since, okay, indicates a time span beginning in a time in the past and still continuing in the present. Alex has been in the village since Sunday. He has been suffering from fever since Friday. Robin and Susan have been friends since childhood. Okay, indicates a time span beginning in a time in the past and still continuing in the present or now. Okay, that's when you use since. So when you also use for, indicates a period of time, amount of time in the past, present, or future. He stayed there for 4 days. Okay. I'll be staying there for 5 minutes. Okay. You can see now the amount of time for 4 days, for 5 months, for a year. I will work with them for a year. Okay. He was standing there for a long time. You cannot also say he was standing there since a long time. That's very wrong. Okay? It's actually emphasizing the amount of time here. Okay? Before, after, during, and by. Before, this indicates a prior event, period of time from a point. Examples, Robin was very nervous before the interview. I want to leave before lunch. These batsmen should not get out before the tea break. Number 4, before going, close all the window. After indicates a following event, period of time from a point. This preposition exact, or this preposition is the exact opposite of before. Examples, Robin felt confident after the interview. I want to leave after lunch. After playing football, we went home. Okay. During, this indicates a period of time throughout the course or duration of any event or action. Okay? Examples: Robert was sleeping during the film. Okay. They don't talk during dinner. I don't usually smoke during office time. By means within the extent or period of, during or during something. So that's by. I will complete the assignment by Sunday. He will return by 6 p.m. I will submit the list by 11 a.m. Okay. So we also have prepositions of place. Okay. Shows the relationship of place between the nouns to the other parts of the sentence. Common prepositions of places and direction: on, at, in, by, from, to, towards, up, down, across, between, among, through, in front of, behind, above, okay, over, under, below, etc. Okay. In indicates something to be present in a place or enclosure. It does not say particularly where, but gives an enclosure to the noun it connects with. Examples: your shirt is in the closet. He lives in Australia. Alex works in that building. At indicates an exact place. Examples: he is at the door. I am standing at 134 George Street. He is at home. On, above, over. On indicates a position above, but touching the object. The phone is on the table. Phone is touching with the table. He is on the third floor. Sit on the sofa. Above indicates a much higher position than the preposition on. Thus, it also indicates something out of reach. Okay. Examples: the sky is above my head. Hold your hands above your head. Stars are above the sky. Over means a position between, on, and above, which is not touching. There are clouds over the hills. A bird flew over my head. My flat is over the shop. Okay, under and below. Under is the opposite of on and means below the surface of something. The cat is under the table. The carpet under my feet is very soft. The book is under my glasses. Below indicates something at a slightly lower position than what under indicates. Okay. Examples: I have a scar just below my right eye. Do you see the line below the paper? Please don't write below this line. To and from. To indicates a motion in the direction of a place. He went to college. We are going to Mexico. We walked from the farm to the beach. From indicates the point of place at which a motion, journey, or action starts. Okay. Examples: he came from England. We walked from the beach to the farm. He drove here from Atlanta. Into, out of. Into indicates a motion towards going inside something. Okay. It has many uses. Examples: he came into the house. The police broke into the bar. My car crashed into a street sign. Out of means the opposite of into. It indicates a motion towards outside of something. Examples: he is going out of town. Get out of my house. Please remain out of this. Okay, that's out of. Through, across, beside, in front, or in front of, behind, towards, and by. Through indicates a motion in the middle of something. We drove through the tunnel. They came through a forest. He came through a wedding gate. Across means going to the other side of a river or road or something straight. He went across the river. I walked across the road. My house is across the bank. Okay, there is a road between the house and the bank. That's across. Okay, so that's other side. Beside means at the side of or next to something. The car beside the cycle is mine. He is standing beside the shop. Okay. I will always be beside you. In front of means a position facing someone or something. He parked his car in front of my house. I have a pool in front of my rest house. He was nervous in front of me. Okay. Behind means at far or means at the far side of something, might be out of sight. It is opposite of in front of. So we'll say, he parked his car behind my car. I have a pool behind my house. Go behind the tree. Towards means a motion in the direction of something literally or metaphorically. Take 5 steps towards the post and stand there. They move towards the Labor Party. I walked towards the car when you were standing. By means near to or next to something or someone. He has a house by the river. I was standing by the car. My flat is by the salon. Up and down. Up means a motion towards a higher place or position. We were climbing up the mountain. Lift your hands up. John is going up to London from a lower place of the country. Climb up the stairs. Down indicates the opposite meaning of up. It means a motion towards a lower place or position. He was walking down the river. I am climbing down the hill. Go down the stairs. Between and among. Between indicates something or someone, to be in the middle of two or other things or persons. Okay, give me one moment. Okay, I'm sorry for another interruption. However, let's continue. All right. Alex is sitting between Robert and Robert. The cat is between the two boxes. This matter is between you and him. Among indicates something or someone to be in the middle of three or more other things or persons. Alex is sitting among the patients. He is the best among them. Among all the people, John had the courage to speak up. Okay. So those are the prepositions that you have to be aware of and how they're gonna use or they should be used in a sentence, specifically the preposition of time and preposition of place. All right, let's proceed to our last topic tonight, which is let me just no, okay. Oh, stop share. All right, let's proceed to analogy. Okay. Analogy. Okay. So this is also a very important component of the exam. So I hope you'll also be serious in studying about analogy. All right, for our instruction, from the given alternatives, choose the option that best represents a similar relationship to the one expressed in the original pair of words. All right. Play, actors, concert, blank. What do you think is the answer here? Okay, the answer is letter B, musicians. In the analogy, play involves actors, and we are looking for a term that involves a different group of performers in a similar context. So among the options provided, concert typically involves musicians performing together. So the correct answer is letter B. How about this? Choir is to sing, blank is to blank. What do you think is the correct answer? Anyone?
Letter, E.
Okay, let's try to check. That's letter C. Okay, choir is to sing, cast is to act. Okay. Team is to cheer. Basically, yes, they cheer, but we cannot expect that they will cheer all the time. Class, okay, is to instruct. Not all the happenings in the class is just to instruct, okay? So we're actually finding the absolute pair, no, which has an absolute also answer for this choir and sing. Basically, if there's choir, what do? They actually sing. In a team, basically in a team, we cannot expect that there's always cheering, no? A class, basically we cannot expect that there's only one thing that they should be observing in a class, that's to instruct, no? Hard, it's stampede, it's very different. court is to testify. Not all happenings in the court is to testify, but for cast and act, if we have casts, okay, basically what do they do? No, primarily, what do they do? Okay, they primarily do acting or action. So cast is to act. Choir is to sing. Cast is to act. That's how we will need to choose the correct pairs in analogy. We really have to understand, we really have to analyze how these or your answer could be relevant to what was offered in that particular option. In this analogy, okay, choir is a group of people who sing together. We need to find a pair where the first word represents a group of people and the second word represents the activity they do together. All right. Among the options provided, cast is to act fits the pattern because a cast is a group of actors. Yeah, that's what I've made mentioned a while ago, who perform together in a play or production. Okay. Next, emit is to odor, and the answer is, what do you think is the answer?
Measure size.
Letter A.
Rigid meat.
All right, letter A. That's letter A, radiate and heat. In this analogy, emit is a verb that describes the action of producing or giving off an odor. We need to find a pair where the first verb describes the action of producing or giving off the second noun. So among the options provided, radiate is to heat. Fits this pattern because radiate is a verb that describes the action of giving off heat. So the correct answer is radiate is to heat. How about this one? Bandage is to laceration. Anyone?
Letter B.
Alcohol, ma'am.
Alcohol.
All right, let's try to check. The answer is letter A. Cast is to fracture. In this analogy, bandage is used to treat a laceration. We need to find a pair where the first item is used to treat the second item. Among the options provided, cast is to fracture, fits this pattern because a cast is used to treat a fracture or broken bone. So cast is to fracture. Next, submerge is to water. What could be our next pair? Anyone?
A.
C.
Letter A, ma'am. E.
C, ma'am. C, lagi na.
All right, the answer is letter E. Suffocate is to air. Let's try to check. In this analogy, submerge involves going into or being covered by water. We need to find a pair where the first word involves going into or being covered by the second word. Among the options provided, suffocate is to air fits this pattern because to suffocate means to be deprived of air or to have air cut off. So the correct answer is letter E. How about this one? Conductor is to orchestra.
Delta.
How about the others?
A, ma'am.
A, ma'am. Apple.
Let's try to check. Okay, the answer is letter B. Teacher is to class. In this analogy, conductor is a person who leads an orchestra. We need to find a pair where the first word is a person who leads or directs the second word. So among the options provided, teacher is to class fits this pattern because a teacher is a person who leads and instructs a class of students. So that's letter B. How about this one? Larynx is to neck. Anyone?
B, ma'am.
E, ma'am.
Delta, ma'am. Delta.
Echo, ma'am. Echo.
All right, let's check. The answer is letter C. Cavity is to tooth. In this analogy, larynx is a part of the neck. Similarly, we need to find a pair where the first word is part of the second word. So among the options, cavity is to tooth fits this pattern because a cavity is always a part of a tooth. Okay, cavity is to tooth. How about this one?
Bravo, ma'am.
Delta, ma'am. Delta.
D. Crocodile yan, ma'am. B.
Delta.
B, ma'am. B.
D, ma'am. Tsaka, letter B po. Letter A.
Delta.
Bravo.
Okay, let's answer that. The answer is letter D. Cow is to herbivorous. The analogy tiger is to carnivorous indicates a relationship where the first word is an animal and the second word describe its dietary preference. So we're also gonna need a pair of that. So among the options, cow is to herbivorous fits this pattern because a cow is an herbivorous animal, meaning it primarily eats plants. How about this?
Bravo.
Okay, let's answer.
Ali. Bravo.
Okay, the answer is professor is to faculty because a professor is a member of a larger group known as the faculty. Okay, so I think that's all for the analogy. We'll also be giving you another exercises about this, but I think Sir Jory will be giving you those um tests or exercises for this particular tests. Okay, so I guess this ends our verbal reasoning lecture from vocabulary until from vocabulary, reading comprehension, grammar, and then analogy. We'll still have last lecture before you will gonna take the exam on June. When is your exam? June 30. June 30 is your exam, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes
Okay.
po, ma'am.
So we'll have a thorough review before that exam. So perhaps we'll all gonna need to answer no the questions preparatory questions before you're gonna really have the Napolcom examination, and all of the verbal reasoning questions should be laid out no before that exam. So hopefully you will all be set and you have reviewed already what we have discussed, even it's just the basic ones, but basically no, can really help you understand and analyze all of the things that you have to answer in verbal reasoning. And, we are always praying for the success of everybody, no, as it is really God's way that shall be prevailed, because, it is His, purpose, and also His will that will always prevail. So good luck, everyone. We'll always pray for your success, no, and also pray for your success as well, no, because we always believe that prayer moves mountain, and there's no impossible with God. So I'm gonna be um giving my last speech this time. I'd like to always remind you of studying those complex topics, especially grammar and reading comprehension. This might be one of the complicated tests no, in the Napolcom exam, but hopefully you'll can survive and get the tips on how these should be answered in the exam. Okay. So I guess that's all for tonight. No, thank you so much for being with me all throughout the times and the lectures that we have done for the past few days. Um, what else? I will congratulate you in advance. No, we are claiming it to have it this time, and no, ano pa? Always make sure to have a
Ilaw.
positive view in life, no? Um, always have I always have these no as your prayers, that it shall be the Lord's will, no, that will be prevailed. So that's all for tonight. Thank you so much for listening. And if you have questions, you can always ask me in our GC. Okay, goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye,
Okay, ma'am.
ma'am.